So there we go. All right. Okay, it is 8 o'clock. It is ready to get started. Thank you all for joining me this evening. Those who are here on Zoom where we can interact a little bit more. And then also those who are joining us on either Facebook or on, let's see what's going on. So, got it. All right. I do not know what is going on with. There we go. All right. Welcome to Dreaming of a Baby, how you can optimize your health and fertility to have the life and family you have always dreamed of. I am going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. I'm sorry for the problems that we've been having getting started here. I've just had a few technical difficulties. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and I will share my screen and we will get started on our webinar tonight. I'm so excited for you to be here with me. We really have a lot of stuff to cover. Can everybody see that yet? I feel like we can't. So let's, oh, it says your screen is loading. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I don't think I've had this much trouble with getting a meeting going for a little while. Okay. Yeah, I think it's working. All right. Sorry about that. Let me get my little thing here where I can advance to the next slide. My name is Emily Myers. We have about an hour. I need to jump right in. I've already wasted a couple of minutes trying to get everything worked out here. All right, and I'm also going to try to keep an eye. Okay, on the chat. Very good. Okay. You would think it would be easy every single time, but for some reason, today is not. Okay, so some of the stuff I want to talk about today is stuff like why our modern medical system is broken and it's unable to really help people with chronic issues, including things like infertility. Why much of our alternative medicine is also not able to help you, and how the aligned health model is different and how it can bring you real and lasting solutions. Really. So then we, of course, will also discuss the most common reasons for infertility, and we will try to tie all of that together to try to help you understand how, in most cases, you can beat infertility and you can have a healthy pregnancy and baby. So just a couple of things quickly before we get started here. Since we are live on Zoom, I would love for you all to feel free to interact using the chat or the buttons. Also, feel free to put on camera so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. And of course, those picking us up on Facebook or YouTube will not be able to interact as much, but I will try to check for comments there at the end. Also, we have found that people are able to get the most out of the information that we're sharing when they minimize distractions. So if you want to make the most of your time, you may want to mute your cell phone, grab a pen and paper or whatever you use for taking notes. And so just today, whether you're here because you have been dealing with infertility and pregnancy loss, or maybe you're interested in optimizing your health preconception, I'm so excited that you're here. I am going to do everything in my power, not only to make this worth your time, but also to make this webinar one that will change and transform your life forever. Really, just the fact that you're here tells me that you're willing to put forth some time and effort to work towards your dreams. You're not just going to give up, but you're learning and you want the best for yourself and hopefully soon for that new little bundle of joy. You may be someone who is fighting depression after having tried for so long with no success, or perhaps you're someone who has been given the news that you're unable to naturally conceive. You may be one who is grieving yet another loss, or maybe you're afraid with everything going on in our world today that if you were to conceive a baby now, he or she will not be healthy. And you want to do all that you can to give him or her the best start in life. Well, no matter what you're dealing with, I'm glad you're here, and I hope you find this to be more than worth your time. Now, I do want to let you know that this webinar is not for everyone. No. If you're someone who is just looking for a quick fix, or if you're not willing to learn and make some sacrifices to obtain your goals, if you're someone who is not willing to take responsibility for your own health, or if you're a person who believes that the modern medical system here in the US has all the answers, if those describe you, this probably won't be worth your time. So feel free to leave if that describes you. But for the rest of you, I'm just so glad you're here today. I am sharing with you what is possible if you remove those barriers that are preventing you from obtaining your optimal health and fertility. We are going to look at some of the often ignored root causes and the reasons why the fertility rate in the US continue to drop. We're going to look at why our modern medical system can't seem to fix these problems and how you can take steps today to find and remove these barriers that are holding you back. Now, before we really get into it, I want to let you know that you're going to want to stay here with me. You don't want to miss out on the free gift I have for all of those who stay with me till the end. I'm going to give you my 5-day jumpstart to success. This is a guide you can download. It will help you jump into improving your diet, removing toxins, beginning to exercise and to think more clearly. It gives a checklist for each day for 5 days. With suggestions. Almost anyone can fit at least part of them into their schedule. I'm also going to show you how you can get a customized plan just for you. So you don't have to feel like you're a helpless victim of your genes or your broken health, but you can take steps to beat that infertility, recurrent miscarriage, and things like so-called bad genes to optimize your health and have a healthy pregnancy and birth. I also have a special discount offer just for those on this webinar today. And I will try to answer a few of your questions as time permits. So let's move right along here. Who am I? Well, my name is Emily Myers. I am a certified professional midwife and essential oil coach. I have been a midwife for 16 years. I've worked with women from all walks of life, from very educated to plain Amish communities. I've worked with first-time moms, with moms with many children, single moms, and those who are still longing for a baby. I am happily married to a wonderful man, and we have 6 beautiful children. And I am passionate about helping you to achieve your health dreams naturally. Well, I would like to let you know that things have not always been like this for me. I got married a little later in life at age 32. And as we were not getting any younger and we had both wanted to have a larger family, we hoped to get started right away. And every month that the tests were coming back negative, it was harder. And despite having worked with women experiencing infertility before I got married and implementing everything that I knew, still the tests were negative. So then came my first Mother's Day after trying to conceive. And just the week before I had had another negative test, we had gone to church and I just wanted to try to be happy for all the mothers who were there. But when someone started to hand me a Mother's Day gift as we walked out, and before I could respond, someone else said, "No, she's not a mother. That's not for her." Was really hard. I hurried out. I didn't care about the gift, but I really wanted a baby. And those words made that unfulfilled desire more painful. And then, friends who knew that we wanted children began to ask if we were expecting yet. And I'm sure they meant well, but it really didn't help. And so I continued, of course, to research and to try different things. And to make a longer story short, about 6 weeks after we had started this new diet and supplements on a cycle that I was almost sure wouldn't be the one, I got my first positive test. And again, just fast forward 9 months later, we welcomed a healthy daughter into our home. Well, then 2 more babies followed in really quick succession, and I just really felt blessed. But after my 3rd baby, my health really began to be more of a problem again. And of course, a mom with 3 little children is going to be somewhat tired out, but I just had no energy. I was nauseous. I gained weight. I just could not seem to lose the weight, just to name a few things. And finally, that fall, I had some tests that showed that I had PCOS. The diagnosis really was a relief. It explained things that I had dealt with over the years, but I had never put together. I had worked with moms with PCOS before, but now that it was personal, I began to do more research. I knew I wanted to work with natural remedies, and I realized even more how blessed I was to have the 3 babies that I had. And they were now 2 years old, 18 months, and 5 months when I found that out. And I was content that our family was complete, but I really wanted to be able to enjoy them. And so I began to seriously work on my health. And by spring, I just felt so much better. I felt like I could live again, raising my babies. And then unexpectedly, I found out I was pregnant, and I was exhausted, but otherwise I just felt very healthy and very positive about the pregnancy. And then 6 weeks later, the day before we planned to announce the pregnancy to the family, I miscarried twins. And I was heartbroken. And I went through this whole range of grief and what I could have or should have done or should have not done. And I had felt content to have no more children before that pregnancy. But now I really wanted another baby. I did not want to end on that note. So the day that would have been the baby's due date came and went, and I just began to lose hope again. But just when I felt that it would never happen again for me, I got another positive test, and I was excited. But like so many of you who have experienced miscarriage, I was also afraid of another loss. And again, to keep from getting too long, I'll just say that 9 months later, we welcomed our 4th child and our 3rd daughter into our family. And I now have 6 healthy children, and I have experienced 3 miscarriages. So I have learned so much from all of my experiences. And although I have cut way back on the number of women that I help since starting a family, I have continued to learn and to use all of these things to help those around me. Every Mother's Day, I mostly think of those who are still waiting. I know it can be a hard day for so many. Then when I see some of the women that I have worked with and that God has blessed with a baby, seeing the joy on their first real Mother's Day is really a special reward. If you have lost a baby through miscarriage, you are a mother, but Mother's Day may just bring your pain into sharper focus. It often feels like you mourn alone. Most people may not even be aware of your loss, and those who are usually unsure how to respond. And I am not remembering to change the slides when I'm supposed to, but I'll try to do better. You may be that woman who has never even gotten a positive test. You may feel like you would rather have gotten pregnant and miscarried than to have never even gotten a positive test. I understand that pain and frustration. I really believe that for all of us, there comes that moment in time where we can decide if we will continue down that road of defeat. Will we just go with the flow, or will we take that first courageous step toward the road of healing? Just taking responsibility for our own health and for our future. Well, right about now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, I'm glad things worked out for you and, for your clients that you've worked with, but it won't work for me. I'm just too broken. I'm getting too old. I'm too high risk. I've already tried so many invasive procedures that didn't work. So why keep trying? Or even maybe I've already tried healthy diets and supplements and they didn't work. Well, almost all of us who have begun this journey have thought the exact same things as you. One thing is certain, if you do nothing, you will get nothing. However, we have found time and again that when individuals have these 3 keys to success, they almost always get genuine results. You must be coachable. For instance, if you sit and study running strategies, but you never put your shoes on and run, I guarantee you will never win a race, no matter how much you know. You must take action to see results. You must focus on progress. You don't need to be perfect. And you must commit to never letting your self-doubt stop you from having what you want. So remember, I am no different than you are. And the many women that we have helped are no different. But we did not settle for what the mainstream medical system was telling us. We made a decision to take action for our health and a brighter future. So success really begins in your mind. And no, I know you cannot think yourself into health, but your mindset and what you believe about yourself actually does play a huge role in how you live your life and in the decisions you make and your results. If you've tried procedures, diet, supplements, and you've never seen a positive test, even if you've been told you will never carry a child to term, there is hope you can do this. This lady here came to me and she was expecting her second baby. Her first baby had been premature and emergency C-section. The baby was developmentally delayed. And after the birth, her health was so poor, she was barely able to care for herself or the baby. She faced a lot of challenges. I began to work with her, and her healthy 7.5-pound baby was born a few days after her due date. She felt so much better after this baby, and she was able to care for both of her children. In the days after her baby's birth, I talked to several people who knew her, and all of them expressed their surprise. They all said they never thought she would be able to do it, but she did. So right now, I just want you to take a few seconds and close your eyes and see your dream. What do you really want? What is your goal? Imagine obtaining that dream. Imagine what it will feel like to be there. Maybe the joy, the contentment, the thrill of feeling your baby kick for the first time, of snuggling that little baby, of watching him or her grow. Perhaps just a great feeling of thankfulness to God for his blessing. So if you're able right now, I would like you to just write down what your dream is. And when you get discouraged, I want you to be able to look at it and to remember your goal and your dream. There's a couple of verses I would like to share with you that have been an encouragement to me as I was on this journey also. The first one is in Jeremiah 29, verse 11. It says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." And then in 1 Timothy 1, verse 7, it says, "For God hath not given us this fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So now that we have our mindset right and we know what our goal is, let's get to those obstacles that seem to be standing in the way of realizing our goal. So today in the US, with a multi-billion-dollar medical industry and more procedures and drugs than ever before in our history, we still have an increasing number of couples who are struggling with infertility. According to the CDC, and let's not, get ahead too fast on those slides. According to the CDC, even in the last 5 years, the fertility rate has dropped in almost all age groups, and also the number of women seeking fertility treatments has increased. So what is it that's causing infertility to be such an issue for us today? Well, the reasons given for this infertility are many. They may include things like, older age, women who are waiting till later in life to start their family, hormone imbalances, PCOS, thyroid issues, weight issues, pelvic cysts, inflammation, irregular menstrual cycles. The list goes on, and just trying to sort through all of the possible causes can seem overwhelming at times. I realize that. And then we have the typical medical approach, which is usually at first just to wait, give it more time. And then they start treating the symptoms. Very often women are actually advised to go on birth control to regulate their cycles or reduce symptoms of pelvic inflammation, and then they will stop and try to conceive. When that doesn't work, the next step is things like drugs to induce ovulation, sometimes to control blood sugar. When those fail, the next step will be something like surgical procedures, perhaps clearing fallopian tubes, removing cysts or fibroids, or even using heat to destroy part of an ovary. Most of these come with a number of possible complications and future risks for you. Then from there, it moves to things like assisted conception, which would be like intrauterine insemination and in vitro fertilization. Yeah. So when I was preparing for this webinar, I did a little bit of research to check some of the current cost and success numbers for the modern fertility treatments. And although I already knew that they were dismal, I was really saddened to see that percentage of pregnancies achieved compared to the percentage of healthy term birth. So although sources differ, what did stand out is that even when pregnancy is achieved in the medical model, only about half of those result in healthy term pregnancies and healthy babies. Well, this is because the root causes underlying infertility are also the underlying causes of most pregnancy complications. And we'll get to those in a moment, but expense was also extremely varied based on how far a person went in treatment, whether or not they, their insurance would pay some. I came up with the out-of-pocket fertility treatments for couples being from nothing to like $90,000 or more. I also found, though, this statement on PubMed that said after the adjustment, the out-of-pocket expense was not significantly associated with successful pregnancy. In other words, those who spent more money did not have a higher chance of actually ending up with a baby. So then there's these other considerations for many, many women. Whether they're able to have a baby or not at the end of their fertility treatment road, they're left with multiple health concerns. Things like obesity, lack of energy, depression. So sadly, even women who successfully give birth are often unable to fully enjoy their little ones because of depression, because of low energy. I'm here today to tell you that there is a better way. Now, some of you here are saying, well, I know the medical system is not working, but I have tried some alternative medicine and it did not work either. Why is that? Well, good question. I'll tell you what the problem is, because most of the time, alternative medicine is just using natural remedies in the same way that the medical system uses drugs. They're using it to treat and mute symptoms without really getting to the underlying causes. So even though they are supporting the body some and are not introducing these toxins like many of the drugs would be, they are still not really effective at creating health in the long run. So here is our model. And yes, some of you are saying, we're finally getting to it. Yes. So, okay, what is different about the aligned health model? I'm glad you're asking. The difference is in the aligned health model, we are looking at each person individually. Instead of treating just the symptoms, we are focusing on what are the underlying causes here. We use customized, personalized, and research-based lifestyle changes. We use cellular healing because, yes, your health has to start with healthy cells, with a healthy environment around those cells. We use detoxification to remove toxins that may have already built up in your body. And then we take a proactive and holistic approach. We use natural protocols and we help you create true healing in your body. So a lot of people are afraid of stuff like this because they're afraid it's going to be too expensive. But the truth of the matter is this approach actually saves a lot of money for people long term. And it improves your physical and mental health and your productivity. It has been proven time and again that these natural protocols don't have those negative health side effects. And since they're customized to your specific needs, they really help to create more health and wholeness in your body and mind. So you can live a longer and a more productive life. So let's keep going here. We know now that we don't just want to mask these symptoms, but we want to get to the roots. We want to heal from the cell up. So what are these causes of infertility and miscarriage and so many of these pregnancy complications? Well, obviously the causes are going to be slightly different for each person, but we need to identify these causes in order to heal. So what are some of the main causes? And here, I've already got my slide changed so you can see the first one I'm going to be talking about is deficiencies. Yes. And then for the person who's wondering if deficiencies are more of a problem than they have been, the answer is yes, they are. Modern farming methods, over farming in certain areas, and not building up the soil with nutrients has really resulted in food that is less nutritious than it would have been hundreds or thousands of years ago. So getting all of your nutrition from your diet is basically impossible for most people. The answer may seem really simple. Just take a good quality supplement and you'll be good. Well, not so fast, everybody. Most people, including most doctors, really have no clue exactly what nutrients they need to take. And for those who do know what they should take, even most of those people have a digestive system that is impaired to where even if they're taking lots of wonderful supplements, they may not be properly absorbing and assimilating those supplements. So the same does go for our food. What nutrients are still in our foods may not be able to be properly absorbed because of impaired digestion and elimination. So what you personally are deficient in is unique to you. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach, but nutrient deficiencies from A to Z. I'm going to look real quickly here at vitamin A. In Medscape, we have a presentation here explaining what a clinician may find in a person with a vitamin A deficiency. It states that they may have a recent history of increased infections, infertility, secondary to impaired spermatogenesis, or recent spontaneous abortion, secondary to impaired embryonic development. So in other words, a couple who is deficient in vitamin A may be experiencing infertility due to things like unhealthy sperm and egg cells. And they could also be having early miscarriage because the baby is not developing normally, again, because of those unhealthy cells. So that's what we're looking at for A, and then we'll go to Z, and we're going to look at zinc. In Science Daily, it says that researchers at Pennsylvania State University have found that zinc deficiency can negatively affect the early stages of egg development, reducing the ability of the egg cells to divide and be fertilized. This may affect fertility for months in the future. So can you see from just these two how just having a few things off could make a huge impact? Also, both of these deficiencies caused a problem where? Did anyone catch that? Yes. So it's in the production and the health of the cells. I think that's so interesting. There are so many nutrients and micronutrients that can impair fertility and healthy development of the baby and pregnancy. It is so important to find out where you personally may need supplementation and to ensure that you being able to adequately assimilate these nutrients. So just a couple of quick things here that everyone can and should do to start improving today. Drink plenty of water, and for most everybody that equals drink more water. Try drinking most of your water between your meals, and say no to soda and sweet drinks. Putting lemon juice or something like that in your water can help if you really don't care for the taste of plain water. Then try to focus on eating a whole food diet. Try to avoid processed foods. If you know your diet's not very good, try to start by eating just one really healthy meal a day and just increase from there. And then try to take a good quality prenatal supplement. Lots of good ones out there. And then focus on progress. Realize it takes time for corrections in these nutritional deficiencies to show their effect. It takes about 3 months for that egg to mature and be ready to be ovulated once the cell has been woken up, if you will. And it also takes 3 months for new sperm to mature. So don't lose heart. Keep it up. We're going to look next quickly at toxins. And yes, there are toxins all around us nowadays. Things like herbicides and pesticides. We'll find that stuff in most of our foods. We're going to find toxins in our drinking water, in our household cleaners, in personal care products, and yes, even in the air that we breathe. So that is just looking at some of the ways that we're encountering toxins in our own homes. Toxins just really cause a host of problems in the body. These common environmental toxins can cause a lot of inflammation. Inflammation plays a huge role in reproductive functions. Toxins will also disrupt hormones. They will alter the transport and binding of various molecules and fat production. They affect energy balance. They lead to a toxic and clogged liver. They disrupt cellular functions that are necessary for the uptake of certain nutrients. They deplete other nutrients, which leads to more deficiencies. That's just scratching the surface. But you can see that if we just merely treat the symptoms, but we don't deal with the continued exposure to these toxins and the current buildup of the toxins in the body, then we're not going to truly heal, even though we may mute the symptoms with various medications and procedures. So quickly here from the National Library of Medicine is a study that says the research is quite clear that metals and chemicals in air, water, food, and health and beauty aids are damaging fertility in many ways. Again, a couple of things you can do is try to avoid using plastic for eating so much, especially avoid microwaving in plastic or microwaving at all, perhaps. Eat organic when you can. Try to get naturally raised meat. Switch to natural household and personal care products. Those are some just quick things that you can do to start reducing the toxins in your life. And then we're going to look at stress. Stress really does play a huge role in physical and mental health. Stress will alter your digestion, your heart rate, your blood pressure, your sleep patterns. I'm not talking about occasional stress. It's not really serious, but chronic stress can lead to systemic inflammation. Inflammation. Sometimes I just get rambling on and mess up my words. So chronic stress will also lead to a lowered immune system and many chronic health issues. Stress causes not only causes infertility symptoms, but that it's usually made worse as couples find that they're unable to conceive or to carry a baby to term. And then, of course, stress in couples who are trying to conceive often results in more sexual dysfunction, which just further complicates the problem. Here again, we have from the National Library of Medicine a study that's titled Preconception Stress Increases the Risk of Infertility. The summary answer states higher levels of stress as measured by salivary alpha amylase are associated with a longer time to pregnancy and increased risk of infertility. So what are a couple of quick ways that you can deal with stress? I believe prayer and meditation is really good. Reading the Psalms is good. Maybe writing in a journal, listening to uplifting music. Try to turn off unhealthy noise. So that's probably most of the media and the news today. Get outside, be in the sunshine, be in touch with nature. Plant some flowers. This is a great time of year to plant flowers or plant a garden. If you don't have that much time, just go hug a tree, be in touch with nature. Try grounding. You can walk barefoot for 20 minutes or so every day. It's great for you as the weather permits. So again, exercise is really good outside when it's possible, but if you have to do it inside, it's still helpful. Just try to get moving. So how do we really get to these roots? Here's some of the roots, but how are we going to change them? Well, did you notice as we were looking at these things that all of these root causes are connected? So if we don't address all of them, we really can't effectively address any one of them. And also remember that the picture is going to look different for everyone because everyone has walked a slightly different path. That is, again, why it's so important to have a customized approach. Another quick illustration for you is say that you have 3 wilted flowers. You want to know what's going to help them be healthy again. You decide to do a little study. You give one flower sunshine only. The second flower, you give it water only. The third flower, you give it plant food only or fertilizer. And none of your flowers improves. In fact, they start getting worse. So your study could conclude that sunlight and water and fertilizer are not good for plants. But say you were to take those same plants and instead you were to give all 3 of them sunshine and water and plant food or fertilizer. Well, what happens now? The 3 things that did not help the plant before, now since they're working together, the plants become happy, healthy plants. So in this same way, you could be taking something or doing something that really is good for you, but because there's another part missing, it appears like it's not working. One way this can happen is when there's like toxins in your body that are blocking receptors for a particular nutrient. You can actually end up with a deficiency and toxicity of the nutrient at the same time because your levels are low. So you keep taking more and more, but your body's unable to use it. It can actually become toxic. It's really a lot to try to wrap your mind around. Now, I also realize that it takes 2. These same principles apply to men. As you know, I work primarily with women, but sometimes I work with the husbands also. I've had really good success. These same principles apply. Daniel had very low testosterone when he started. He had been prescribed start hormone replacement therapy, but he wanted to find another option. 6 months into our program, his levels of testosterone had increased by 5 times, and he learned he was to be a father again. So although not everyone is going to have this kind of results, it's amazing the improvement that can be made when you address underlying issues and support the body's natural function. So we really covered some really great stuff here. How many of you would really be interested in trying to implement this type of strategy in your own life and in your situation to optimize your fertility and your health? To remove these barriers so that you can, Lord willing, achieve a healthy pregnancy and give your baby the best start in life, so that you can move into a place of more physical and emotional wholeness also. Now, to be honest, an hour really isn't nearly enough time to really get in depth on this and really transform your life. But I have created a solution that can help you gain the information and the tools that you need to begin making progress towards your goal, that goal of having that sweet little baby. So would anybody be interested in hearing about something like that? Okay, good. Great. Okay, so what I have here is I have created an option for those of you who are motivated and you're putting your health and that of your future children as your top priority. I call it my fertility and preconception health strategy session. I like to take a little time to share with you a little about what it is, what it includes. Is that okay with everybody here? Okay, yes, okay, that's great. So this opportunity is that you can have a one-on-one Zoom call with me. And what we do is we dive deeper into the areas that are of the most importance to you personally. We get into the issues that you personally are dealing with, whether it's like irregular cycles, PCOS, recurrent miscarriage, some other issue that's keeping you from realizing your dreams. What happens when you sign up is I have you fill out this detailed questionnaire. So on the call, we use the information that you've given us to discuss your current health status and your personal roadblocks and barriers. We ask you some more questions and just kind of make sure that we're on the same page about what's going on in your health and your life. This is one of the visuals that we can create for you based on the forms you fill out. It kind of goes through the different areas, shows you what areas seem to be in the green, the yellow, the red. It's like 8 or 9 categories that you get feedback on in this thing here, depending on your needs. Then, so what I do with that information is I help you create a customized plan on how to move forward in obtaining your health goals and in starting today to move closer toward that dream and that desire for a baby. We do this through our program that we call Life in Bloom. So that dream that you had of a family is getting a little bit closer. How does that sound to everyone here? Good. Yeah. So before you get too excited, I need to warn you that this strategy session I have available is really not for everyone. No, sorry, it's not. This strategy session is not for you if you are a person who is not hoping or planning to become pregnant within the next 12 months or so. If you are happy with your current health status, if you are confident that the medical system has all the answers you need, or if you're not interested in taking action, if those happen to describe you, then you don't want to sign up for this. But on the flip side, if you are hoping to conceive a baby within the next year or two, you want to make sure you're in optimal health, you have been unable to conceive or have been diagnosed with infertility or had early miscarriages, and you want to find a solution. If you want to find natural solutions to work with your body's natural healing processes so you can not only have a family, but have the health and the energy to really enjoy them, if you're ready for action, then this strategy session is for you. If that is you, you are exactly the type of person that I have put this together for. So my goal for you is to show you how to start taking steps right away so you can achieve your goal. You can be holding that little baby in your arms. As a bonus, you can have improved health and energy. So whether you're here and you haven't really tried yet because you want to improve your health preconception, or if you have been suffering from infertility for years, or maybe you're the mom who has suffered one or multiple miscarriages, I want to help you find the tools that you need to get you on the right path. So again, when you schedule this fertility and preconception health strategy session, you're going to get a personalized review of your current health status based on that form that you fill out, a 45-minute one-on-one call with me on Zoom. And then we will identify those key areas that need to be addressed for you. We will work on a customized recommendation and on how to move towards your goals. The cost for all of this, the paperwork that you fill out, the review process, the strategy session where we go over where you are and where you're wanting to be, and the customized approach for how you can move forward is only $297. And I believe that you are going to find this information that you're going to get in this session to be really impactful for you, perhaps life-changing, and that you will find it is totally worth the cost. I believe that you can do this and that you will be blessed with a healthy baby along this journey. But if that didn't happen for you, and if all you ended up with was more balanced hormones, a healthier life, a more positive mental outlook, maybe adding 5 to 10 years to your life, I believe you would still find it to be a good value. I know many of you would agree with that. Yes. So now I have some good news for you. For those of you here on the webinar, I have a couple of special bonuses I'm going to throw in for you, and also a special discount on the regular price of the fertility and preconception health strategy session. So just for you being here today, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. But first, I want to just go back for a minute, pause, just think about what it could mean for you to figure out some of these barriers that may have been hindering you to get that plan to help you address these things. What would mean for you over time? What was that dream that you thought about earlier here? What would it be like to obtain that dream? And yes, dreams still do come true. You could be like this woman who was still quite young. She had been told that if she wanted children, she would have to adopt. Excuse me. Talking too much, huh? Sorry. She knew that the odds of conceiving naturally were very low, but even if she wasn't able to conceive, she wanted to improve her health just for herself or to be in good health as she and her husband considered adoption. So 1 year after her initial consult, she was preparing to welcome her new son. Again, not everyone has the same goals and not everyone gets the same results. But if we, you and I, were having a conversation about this 1 year from today, and you were looking back over the year, what would have to happen in your life for you to feel happy with your progress? So just think about it. What is your health worth to you? And of course, can you even begin to put God on attaining that goal of having that little baby in your arms? What would look like progress for you in a year? And you can write these down. You can even drop them in the chat if you want to. It could be things like normalized cycles, better mental and emotional health, healthier weight, expecting or yes, even holding a baby in your arms. It is possible. So let's see. Yeah, losing weight and keeping it off, having more energy, carrying a baby past 10 weeks. Those are, great things. Just, it's exciting to just think about what's possible in that short period of time. I mean, a year may sound like a long time also, but when we look back, it's like, wow, how can it be time to plant the garden again already? So let's just move quickly here. Yes, if you sign up for the strategy session on this webinar, you are going to get 2 bonuses. The first one will be 12 ways to start detoxing your home. Most of our homes have toxins that we've never even considered. So how much are those affecting our health and that of our family? In this download, you will get a list of 12 common toxins found in most homes and some ways that you can change to healthier options. And then we have another bonus. It's my essential oil guide. It shows you safe and effective use of some essential oils for fertility and in early pregnancy. And like I said, I also have a very special discount just for this webinar. So if you sign up today, you not only get the fertility and preconception health strategy session that includes that personalized review of your current health status based on that questionnaire you fill out, 45-minute one-on-one Zoom call with me, a customized recommendation on how to move towards your goals. And again, that is a $297 value, but you also get the 2 bonuses, 12 ways to start detoxing your home, the essential oil guide, all of that combined value, way over $500 today. Just for this webinar, I am offering all of this at a huge discount. You can get all of this for the special price of only, and I forgot to advance my slide again, $97. Yay. So now, if you do purchase the strategy session today, even at the reduced price, and after the call, you feel like you didn't receive good value, just let me know. I will refund you 100%, no questions asked. My mission is to change people's lives, to show up and help you access a new health future for yourself that you probably would not otherwise find. So ultimately, if you are not satisfied, I'm happy to give you your money back. There is no risk to you when you sign up today. So another story quickly for you, I would like to share. This is Jessica. She married later on in life. Also, she was hoping it was not too late for them to have a baby. The first year they were married, she had 2 heartbreaking miscarriages. I was able to help her and she carried her next baby to term. Today, she has 3 healthy boys. Just really such a beautiful family there, as you can see. Now, I know some of you who are interested, you're still thinking, even at the reduced price of $97 is a lot to spend today. Well, let's think about this for a minute. According to Google, the average individual spends $92 a month on coffee. And how much value really is coffee adding to your life? An average individual spends $200 to $300 a month dining out. The average cell phone bill is over $100, not to mention how much is spent on entertainment. I like to think of this strategy session not so much as a cost as an investment in your future. I mean, even if you have insurance and it paid 100% for poor health, it's going to negatively impact your productivity and your life in the future. Degenerative diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, they don't just happen. They start 15 to 50 years before they're diagnosed. When we add to that we know now that 90 to 95% of our genes are controlled by our lifestyle and environment. And did you know that healthcare expenses is the #1 reason for bankruptcy? And most of those individuals were insured? Then you can see how this investment can really pay back big. So if you think about it, if this strategy session would help you find how much value could you put on having a baby or healthier pregnancy and baby? Only help improve your physical and mental health. It may give you tens of thousands of dollars down the road. And if you're not satisfied, I do have the money back guarantee. You really have 2 options right now: to just keep on with the standard of care, which just keeps treating and masking symptoms, often causing harm with no real healing, or will you make that choice? Take the path where you actually find the roots of your issues. You get a customized plan and you take that path for real health. You know, I had 2 choices. I had often not to just end my life, catching babies, raising my children. Option B was, people are getting such great results with this. Let's get it out there for others. So how do you sign up? Well, good question. When you have a link that's there at the bottom of these pages, and I should have been mentioning, but I keep forgetting to do that. You will not close the webinar, but it will open up a page like this. There's a calendar. You can select a time and a date for your strategy session. If you cannot find an opening that works for you, please email us. We will do what we can to accommodate your schedule. Then you will click next at the bottom, and you will be asked to fill in your name, your email address, phone number. The other questions are optional. Again, you just click next. You will enter your payment information. For some reason, this page sometimes does not load properly in Chrome unless you clear your cache. Some security thing. You may want to use another browser, or you can use an incognito tab, which also works. Then you just hit next, and it says confirm and book. And then you come to this page that says, thank you for booking your call. I can't wait to meet you. There should be, an email that you can find a link to the questionnaire, your bonus downloads, and call reminders. It is very important that you fill out the questionnaire as completely and as soon as possible so that I can have time to evaluate your case. So that we can have the most value on our call together. So if you have questions, just let us know. We will hold your hand the whole way. We will walk you through the process. I'm just really excited about working with you. Realize those dreams of a family, a sweet little baby, of having the energy and health to really enjoy that family. So I believe that you are going to find what you get with this is just beyond information. It's transformation. It's how you're able to live your life, to be there for your children. It's about increased productivity, your ability to prevent many of the diseases and the disorders your parents or your family may have dealt with. It's having that energy to be able to enjoy life. It's about crossing that line from infertility and sadness to the joy of holding that precious baby. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in one more bonus today, and that is our quick action bonus. Normally, as we've talked about, the initial strategy session is 45 minutes, but for the first 5 people here tonight that sign up, I am going to give you a full 60-minute call so we can have more time to go a little deeper into your personal situation and needs. So again, full 1-hour strategy call for the first 5 people to sign up. So you might want to just quickly go ahead and do it. Just to review, when you sign up, you get that personalized one-on-one call. And, that's 45 minutes or a whole hour. If you're one of the ones that does it really quickly, you're going to get help identifying those key areas that need to be addressed in your life. You're going to get that customized recommendation on how to move towards your goals. Then, of course, you're going to get our 2 bonuses, the 12 ways to start detoxing your home, the essential oil guide, the total value, well over $500. Again, today offering all of this for the special price of only $97. And even though I don't believe you're going to need it, we have the 100% money back guarantee. So I know most of you are here on this webinar today because you're experiencing fertility issues or maybe other health issues that might cause you to be concerned about your baby's health if you became pregnant. You're wanting a healthier baby. You're wanting a healthier, more balanced life. If that is you, then sign up. You really have nothing to lose. I am really looking forward to helping you work towards your goals, of helping you turn that negative test result into positive. Yes, helping you optimize your health to be able to carry your baby. So now I can only work with a limited number of people. So you may want to sign up right away, or you may find yourself left out, like that little girl. So now I'm going to take a few questions here. We have a couple minutes, we can do that. I'll try to look in the chat real quick and see what we've got. A couple common questions is, I have XYZ condition, can you cure me? The answer is, I do not diagnose or cure anything. I work with the body's natural ability to heal itself. I help you to remove toxins, to improve your stress level, to find the nutrients you need, to see if there's anything blocking their absorption, to help you get the functional labs that you need. Oftentimes to find these things, I help you make diet and lifestyle changes so that you can heal. And then how long does it take to see results? Well, again, it's part of the personalized process. Much of it has to do with what you're dealing with specifically and your commitment and ability to implement the strategies. So most people will notice a significant change in 3 months' time. For others, it may take a little bit longer. Obviously, those who work harder, you have to result. So what types of, let me see, what types of brands of cleaning products and personal care products? There are a lot out there. I do not recommend 7th generation, but Better Life has some good stuff. Attitude, Nature Clean. So let's see, really, we're kind of getting to the end of our time here. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up. You can still feel free to email me your questions, and I will try to follow up with you. For those who up here are some key things, please spend some time in the next day or two on your paperwork and your forms. Try to get them completely filled out. Make sure that you're in a quiet area during the strategy session without distractions, and try to have your spouse there to be a part of the session. They can really be a great part of your support system. This is a big part of helping you get good value on your calls, so do your best to have them there. Thank you, everyone, for being here on this webinar tonight. Don't forget to download your gift for being here. For those of you that did not sign up, hope you got some good information and you found value in taking time to join me here. For those of you who did sign up, I look forward to meeting with you for that one-on-one strategy session, evaluating your case, putting together that customized plan just for you. Please contact me if you have any questions at all about any step in signing up. And don't forget to get your download there. You should see the link for it there on the fence in the picture. So thank you for joining me here tonight, and I hope you have a very good evening.